In this tutorial, we will paint a window covered in raindrops. As the window is transparent, we will need to paint what is on the other side of the window as well. In our painting, we have a lady walking past us in the rain. What makes this painting interesting is the fact that we are looking at the water drops and not what's in the background. We then need to create the illusion that the background is out of focus. To do that, I start by blocking in the colors I see in the background on the corresponding areas of the canvas. Although I know we are looking at trees, a figure and an umbrella, I'm not going to try to paint any of those. I'm simply going to paint the abstract shapes caused by these objects. To do this, I've mixed up several greens and browns using raw umber, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow, sap green and white. These colors are then blocked in using a standard bristle brush. As you can see, I'm laying these colors down individually on the canvas without trying to blend any together. I fill up the canvas with paint but avoid the umbrella area. This area needs to remain clean, otherwise we will lose the vibrancy of the colors in the umbrella later. If you're scared that you'll accidentally paint into this area, feel free to mask it off using clear cover or masking tape. Once you're happy that the canvas is mostly covered, you can use a soft, clean and dry brush to blend adjacent colors into each other. The secret to making something look out of focus is to lose all the detail. This means that adjacent colors will look like they are merging into each other and all hard edges will be lost. As you blend as gently as possible. You don't want the paint to move so far across the canvas that you lose your initial shapes. I started off using a hardware brush and a tapping motion, but even that was too hard on the blending, so I changed over to a watercolor mop brush. Now this brush is identical to the ones used to apply makeup on the face, and it's super soft. So this brush allowed me to smudge adjacent colors perfectly without losing that initial shape. To keep the colors as vibrant as possible, I clean the brush by wiping it on a roll of paper towel when I see that the brush is becoming too contaminated. In areas where the blending has caused the color to lighten or lose its vibrancy, I add more paint and gently blend again. On the figure's shirt, I also added a suggestion of shading in order to add depth and dimension to a body. For the umbrella, I use a rainbow of colors and blocked in each individual color. Washing and cleaning my brush between each color to ensure nice vibrant colors. I then used a soft full-bit brush to gently blend adjacent colors into each other. I also very carefully soften the edges around the silhouette of the umbrella in order to make it look out of focus. Now I had to leave the painting to dry. A week later, the background was dry and I could start working on the window. I wanted to create 3 different effects on the window. I wanted to have mist, static water drops, as well as water running down the window. I started with a misty effect. There, I used small amounts of sky color on my soft full-bit brush. I laid this paint down in thin glazes using a downward squiggling stroke. As I did this, I added thicker and thinner applications of the glaze. This creates the illusion of previous water drops that have run down the window. In some areas, I even leave a strip of neat background showing through to make it look like a water drop has just passed by. In order to leave space for the other 2 effects, I only add the mist in the bottom corners of the canvas and then fade them out as I move upwards and inwards. I will now add some water streaming down the window. As this water has height, it will need a shadow and a highlight in order to create the illusion. The water is however transparent, so the shadow becomes a reflection of the surrounding objects and the highlights and shadows swap places. I then use a fine liner to run a squiggling line down the canvas using a darker version of whatever color is on the canvas in that area. In other words, as you are running the line down the canvas, you may need to change the color on your brush if the scenery behind changes dramatically. I then use sky color and the same fine liner to run a squiggly line parallel to this dark one. This lighter line doesn't have to be perfectly parallel, just roughly the same distance apart. How wide you make these lines apart is going to determine how broad the stream of water is that's running down the window. With the two lines established, I use a clean dry brush to fade them towards each other, and this shading adds the height to the water. I then add a few extra reflections and highlights running down the inside of the stream of water, and that makes the water look wet and flowing. Now we can add some static water drops to complete the illusion. For the water drops, I create its silhouette using sky color and a darker version of the background, similar to what we were doing before. I keep the shape of each water drop random to ensure they look natural. I then fade these colors towards the center of the drop. And as with the running water, I also reflect some of the surrounding colors as well as add a sky color highlight to the inside of the drop. You'll notice that this highlight is on the sun side and the initial outline highlight is on the opposite side. For example, in this painting, the sun is coming from right to left. So the highlight inside the drop is on the right and the brighter outer edge is on the left. You can now add as many runs and droplets as you want to your window. How many you add will depend on what type of weather you're trying to paint. And with that, our painting is complete. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please like and subscribe. Also, visit our website to follow the real-time, step-by-step paint-along version of this class. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.